The Cheating Death Podcast is a satirical program containing objective information about anything and everything under the sun. We are not political. We are not religious. We are merely analytical and perhaps a bit prodigious. You, dear listener, have made a decision to move forward in a way to where it can only be described as destroying the war on mediocrity. So therefore, by now, you know that you are listening to the Cheating Death Podcast. On today's episode of the Cheating Death Podcast, we provide insight on how to harness your patience and utilize it to increase your persistence. There are no rubrics in mind, merely subjective interpretation for each and every situation that you are offered and given an opportunity to move forward into. We provide you with a top 5 list of our current favorite salted snacks. We also give you a brand new joke of the episode, an all-new Annihilation Announcement, and much, much more. So by now, dear listeners, you know what to do. Grab yourself a nice coffee, put your feet up, and let us tell you how you can cheat death. This is your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this is your Annihilation Announcement. We always ask ourselves so many questions that don't always necessarily have answers, in such a way that if we do not provide ourselves with a conclusive and decisive statement, that we are losing and missing the point. We ask ourselves so much, but do we ever give ourselves the patience and the grace and the space in order to find those solutions, in order to find those answers? We don't. And one of the reasons we do not do this, ladies and gentlemen, is because we strongly feel within inside of our souls and our minds that everything that we do is not capable of being moved forward, is not capable of being seen on a different scale or a different time frame. We view ourselves in a different way than most people do 9 times out of 10. But what is it that we are finding? What is it that we are seeking? The answers to each and every single one of these situations can be found within inside of the soul, and especially inside of the mind. Whenever we ask ourselves exactly what can be done to move forward at a particular point, we know exactly what must be done. We know exactly what must be seen. But do we ever actually move forward in a way to where that is going to be a rudimentary and or a completely automatic fact for us? I do not believe so. For when we note and when we see exactly what it is that is required for each and every single person to be within the world of our own inspiration, our own motivation, and our own ways to channel everything moving forward, do not give ourselves enough time in order to see exactly what it is that we need to do to see the sun. We ask ourselves many questions, but do we really provide ourselves with the answers in which we seek? Those that are found upon the stones and the stepping blocks of life. We often look down when we are supposed to be looking forward. We look to the left when we are supposed to be looking to the right. In these situations and scenarios, they are not easily found, nor are they easily solvable by any particular dynamic. We provide ourselves with complex caves of mystery that are only open to those in whom do everything that they can in order to see exactly what is required for them to burn their candle at no limit. We all have a capacity. We all have a limit as people. We constantly ask ourselves, what more can we do? When the answer sometimes is to just relax, is to just wait, is to just be patient, and to see exactly how you are able to move in conjunction with the sun. We are spiritual entities. We are physiological beings in whom possess a great deal of mental fortitude. Giving ourselves a chance to shine and to show ourselves just what we can do is imperative to each and every single day that we live upon this planet. Yet, how many of us actually truly believe in ourselves? How many of us actually truly believe in a brighter tomorrow? There is a litany of opportunity from which we are not giving ourselves the true potential to see. There is time that we must move forward. And we must do everything that we absolutely can in order to harness and to properly channel each and every single entity within our soul to see just what it is that we need to add that extra layer, that extra element, that extra ingredient. For without those particular remembrances inside of the brain, we are limited. We are clipped. We find ourselves in unique positions that we are not able to overcome without looking at things from a slightly different angle and from a slightly different perspective. We always try our very, very best to do everything that we possibly can to configure everything within our minds and our bodies to see what is needed to reach our own goals. These are not easy solutions for anyone to locate nor utilize on a regular basis, nor will you be able to find the answers easily, giving yourself a veritable hemorrhage or an aneurysm the next time it takes you an extra minute or two to configure a solution. We all have the answers within ourselves. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of extra searching. Thank you for tuning in today, and this is your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this has been your Annihilation Announcement. Willkommen, 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 meine Freunde. Guten Morgen, guten Tag und eine gute Nacht. Ist eine Reisende und eine Ausländer und eine Allesfresser, deine Cleric of Chaos. And on today's program, dear listeners, we provide you with an opportunity to understand exactly what must be done to enhance your patience and your persistence, to ensure the two work in unison to get you to the levels of where you would like to get to, the goals and the platforms and the areas of opportunity that we all provide ourselves. We give ourselves many chances, but do we ever actually truly give ourselves the patience, the room, the space to grow? And the answer to that, of course, is a dear no. For when we find ourselves in the confines and in the domiciles of the particular points of contention that we are constantly reaching towards, we wonder exactly what can be done to move forward in a way that will not allow ourselves to see exactly what is required to accomplish the task. It is imperative that we all understand that speed is not always key, that being as quick as you possibly can is not always the right way, that being the first one completed on a test does not mean that you have all the answers. Being the first one within your group to truly see that it is going to take a while for you to accomplish your goal than it is for you to do other tasks in same time, same place, same fashion. Dear listener, this is where patience comes in. We note that we all live in a world filled with instant gratification, constant bombardment from advertisements, and the idea that moving forward in a way is impossible, that stagnation is inevitable, and that regression is a natural part of life. However, dear listener, what you are not giving yourself the benefit of the doubt towards is being able to identify exactly what and specifically is the passion that you pursue with the pulchritudinousness of what you provide for your own self, for your own soul. Yet, here we are, spending time doing what we can to diminish our efforts and our capabilities, to do what we can to move forward in a way, but we do not give ourselves that opportunity. We do not give ourselves that patience. We do not give ourselves the space and the room to utilize these skills to our benefit, our advantage, to our strengths even. And that is one of the reasons why sometimes, as guilty as the host of this program is at not following this particular dynamic, sometimes it is imperative for one to slow down. Sometimes it is imperative for one to take time and to learn exactly how to move forward in a way that is not only going to be of benefit to those around them, but is also going to serve them in a way to where they will be able to reach the zenith of what their particular goals are. Speed, complacency, destruction, cataclysm, all lead to the same road. They all lead to the same point. And they all lead to the same line of thinking, that we as human beings need to be as quickly as we can when it comes to the completion of our tasks, our goals, our dreams, our obstacles. But what we are failing to see within ourselves, dear listeners, is the capability that we have to not only utilize this patience in a very constructive way, but to also be persistent with how we believe in ourselves, to ultimately identify and move forward in a way to where people are not necessarily aware of their strength, aware of the time and of the effort that it took for them to do what they need to do to move forward, to move beyond, towards a brighter tomorrow. Patience comes from within. You look in the mirror, you allow yourself to breathe, you focus, you center yourself, and you give yourself an opportunity to see just what you are capable of. Persistence is when you keep going, you keep driving, you keep building, and you do not surrender. You choose to not wage war upon your own doubt in a negative way. Rather, you move forward in a way that you know that persistence is inevitably going to lead to a payoff. So all we must do, dear listeners, as we walk down this road of life and as we configure the solutions to ourselves, is we just have to believe that our patience and our persistence will pay off. And 9 times out of 10, if you believe and if you work towards a brighter tomorrow, there will be an opportunity for you to succeed. Thank you for tuning in today. Take care of yourselves and each other. At the top of today's program, we once again provide you with an opportunity to note that there is a top 5 list upon this program. And once again, dear listener, we are providing you with a top 5 list of our favorite salted snacks. Because what would the world be without a bit of salty? Coming in at number 5, we have Schneider's Bacon and Cheese Pretzels. They are absolutely outstanding, and find them at your local grocery store. Coming in at number 4, we of course have the delicious cheeseburger. A beautiful snack, a lovely tasty treat, and one that you can eat until you're complete. Coming in at number 3, we of course have beef jerky, specifically Hickory Jack Link's beef jerky. Coming in at number 2, we have ourselves one of the tastiest salty treats of all time, and that, dear listeners, are potato chips. And coming in at number 1, we have salted buttered popcorn. Feel free to comment what your top 5 are beneath this video, or email us at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com. Today's joke has been brought to you by the Cleric of Chaos. They often say that the candle that burns twice as bright burns half as long. But what about the ones that burn with the frequency and with the strength of a mere mourning dove? 'Tis simple. They go the way of the dodo. How each and every single one of us quantifies time is not necessarily limited to nor exclusive to exactly how one looks out a window or opens a door. We are creatures of habit as well as creatures of self-discipline. We focus towards the sun in matters and ways that ultimately we do not necessarily have time nor energy to do so sometimes, yet we still continue to move forward. We still continue to try our best, and we still continue to wage war upon mediocrity. This is one of the most imperative things that we, as the program, always insist that you must do, that it is not optional, that it is not feasible for you to discard it or for you to ignore it in a way that is not limited to your development nor beneficial or conducive to how you can move forward. No. For you see, dear listener, whenever we take a moment to ourselves to truly understand and realize exactly what it is that we need to do to be where we want to be, to focus on what we want to focus upon, you can be the most intelligent person in the world. You can be the most capable individual in the world, especially when it comes to how you complete a task or how you are able to move forward in a way that other people simply cannot. It is in these times that we look towards the sun and we look at ourselves in our reflections and we see exactly what is required. That patience, mixed with a dash of persistence, is one of the most ubiquitous spikes and spices that we provide ourselves to really truly see what the opportunities are within. Patience is within all of us. It is just a matter as to the level at which you display in order to move forward. Persistence is something that is rooted in each and every single one of our souls. The resilience and the relentlessness that dwells within each of our minds and our hearts cannot be understated. The persistence that we all display and demonstrate on this world, in this land, in this time, cannot be understated, but it is also under attack. For you see, dear listeners, when we get ourselves to a point where we are believing that we are no longer capable of finding the solutions that we ever so shall choose to try to reach, this is when we do not embrace persistence enough. And when we have ultimately given up on our goals, our dreams, our motives, our desires, we are doing absolutely everything that we possibly can in order to move forward. But we are not giving ourselves all the tools necessary to do it easily or as efficiently as we could be doing. Note to yourself that whenever we move towards a brighter tomorrow, that there is always an opportunity and there is always an option for you to do so in a way that is going to be somewhere along the rainbow of radiance, somewhere along the prism of perpetuity, and we need to see it for ourselves, exactly what we are capable of, what we will do. And this is one of the reasons why, when you fully understand exactly how you are capable of not only being patient, but persistent in accomplishing your goals, you will see exactly what you are made of. Until next time, thank you for tuning in today. Take care of yourself and each other. Cheating Death Podcast is brought to you by Nocturne Leben, CRDVC, Cleric, Chaos, where you can find all podcasts on all platforms. If you'd like to support the program, you may do so by purchasing merch, media, a cameo, or you may buy us a coffee at the links in the episode's description below, and much, much more. As well as please follow each and every single one of our actors, comedian friends, consultants, producers, and associate directors of the program at each of the links in the episodes in the podcast description on all of their social media. If you or anyone you know is experiencing gambling abuse, substance withdrawal, or any emergency calamity, please consult the telephone numbers listed in the episodes and in the podcast description. You are not alone, and you should not be made to feel that way. If you are looking at adopting a playful puppy or a cute kitten, please visit your local animal adoption rescue center, as they are in dire need of your support. And if you could please visit yummypets.com/voice, sign up for a free account, and click the button every day to give pets an opportunity to receive 330 pounds of food at the end of each month. Dear listeners, we understand life is not a one-track solution, nor is it an easy answer nor escape to any of the calamity that we face on a daily basis, but we owe it to ourselves to do everything that we possibly can to rise above the situations that we find ourselves in. There are no easy answers and there are no escapes, but you have it within you to persevere. Remember, we are pulling for you. We are all in this together.